Oh, okay. Thanks, man.
I am here for you. I only wish that would have been before we had just had a minor medical emergency here. Paul, I believe, crushed a pinky toe.
Wow.
You know, I really am a jerk because you did something nice. You're sending me a box that I'm assuming doesn't have live crickets in it. If it does, then I take back every nice thing that I said. And then Paul sits down in his chair and runs over his foot with the little wheel thing. And what do? I start the podcast while he's in pain. You know, true friends. There's something
Sorry,
wrong
I
with
expect
me.
nothing less. It's fine.
There is something wrong with me, but here we are.
Oh, God. My eyes are watering. I'll be okay. I think.
Maybe. We'll find out. Stick around.
Yep.
If Paul comes, if there's no podcast tomorrow, we'll know that Paul destroyed his foot.
I mean, the toes are all still attached.
Yeah. Well, that's good. So I moved the mic, and I think it's better. I was telling Paul right before this, so I'm trying to get the wires up and out of the way, which there's an odd problem, too, with this little number pad. So I have it go, it runs, and then I have a USB extension to the PC.
Okay.
And so I bought another one because it's not long enough, and I put it in the middle, and then this thing stopped working. Doesn't make sense.
Right. Is
So I
that
don't
why
know.
you have a blank blue screen behind you?
No, that's actually the Windows logo.
Oh, there it is. Okay.
No, but that's actually, so here's another interesting point.
Uh-huh.
And maybe, I don't know, we'll keep an, where's the mouse? Where's my mouse? We'll keep an eye on this. Yeah. So Paul, you notice how you can see the mouse moving here and it's working just fine?
Yep.
Like, I wonder if I right click, does it show up? No, it doesn't.
That's weird.
I should try opening a picture because I had a theory that maybe the Miracast issue is related to the Surface Book 2 that I was using.
Interesting.
So I should try to, while you ramble about something here in a minute, maybe, I'm going to try to put a picture of
Oh,
it.
I do have something really important we need to discuss, so
There you go.
feel free to experiment.
I'm going to.
10 days ago, 11 days ago, 12 days ago, something like that, October 10th, Microsoft issued a blog post, a Windows Insider blog post about whatever. It didn't really matter what that blog post was about. Since then, they've updated the blog post twice. And the previous update wasn't super important, but you know how they'll add like a date to the top and they'll be like, oh, by the way, something else happened, whatever. Last night, they updated that blog post, that 11-day-old blog post, with incredibly important information. If you're on the slow ring, you are getting switched to 20H1 unless you do something about it right now.
Oh.
That information should have been in its own blog post.
Yeah.
That is
that's
dumb. And here's the math, just so people understand it. When you update an existing blog post, if you're using like an RSS reader or something, you don't get alerted to the update. No one does. You only find out about new posts. And then if they make the argument that, we posted it on Twitter, which they did, their Twitter account has less than 92,000 followers. There are about 1 million active people in the Windows Insider program.
Yep.
There are probably, I don't remember the exact number, 16 million or whatever the total. No one is going to know about this. This is incredibly irresponsible. And I thought we were past this with these guys. Like, I thought they had figured it out, but apparently they have already forgotten how to communicate again. So it's incredibly important, if you're a Windows Insider, that if you don't want to be on 20H1, you need to get into the release preview right now or just exit the program, right? Because otherwise you might wake up tomorrow and find out you're installing a build. So just be careful. And dear God, guys, in the Insider program, could you wake the frick up? Like, seriously.
Yeah, I tend to agree with you. Like,
It's unbelievable.
just because there's the magic window, right? And people might jump in or jump out, and they need to know.
Yep.
So.
Yep. So that little bomb was dropped. No one heard it coming.
Well, typically you don't, though, right? Like,
Yeah, something like this. I don't know. I feel like you should. I feel like this warranted a new post. It could have been one paragraph long. Important, : whatever you want to call it. Irresponsible.
Yeah, no, I was trying to think, like, they always tell you that, and not that I've ever been in a foxhole being mortared, but you never hear the one that hits you, right?
Right. That's right. And that's what this is. And look, there are nice controls and settings in Windows 10 now where you can opt out at the time of the next version, et cetera, et cetera. So there's things you can do, but this is just about the communication thing. Like they need to. This is important enough that it warranted an all hands, announcement. You don't do this to people.
Yeah. So
It's
there
just
you go.
dumb. And yeah.
Not that you're missing much. I mean,
Well, I mean, but the point is, if for whatever reason you were testing
you're not wrong. But I
Yeah.
mean, so somebody asked me, they said, Brad, are you an active user in the Insider program? And candidly, I'm really not. Like I have a machine that runs on the fast ring to see everything that's updated. But to me, there's not a big enough carrot to risk my daily stuff on it. It's really, especially this podcast box or even my video editing rig. Like there's no incentive for me to risk that.
I can't remember if I mentioned this publicly on the podcast here or just to you privately, but the other day I mentioned to somebody that I'm still 2 builds behind on 20H1 because there was a bug that prevented the thing from resetting properly and or rebooting, I guess. And it's still happening. Like I don't know. I've tried a couple of times. I've looked this online. There are some little fixes supposedly that will make it work, and I can't make it work.
I gotta fix this. So if people are wondering why the camera is always switching off, because what I have is number 1 is Paul and number 3 is me, which made sense when I was looking at it and we were split.
What's number 2?
Number 2 is split.
Oh, it would have been really funny if you had switched to something completely. Number 2 is CNN.
Oh yeah.
Like just some other show just came on.
I'm just tuning you out while you're battling. With
Exactly. It's like a
world
cartoon.
news.
It's just like Ren and Stimpy hitting each other or something.
But when I look at the monitor that's recording, it's now flipped. So when I press 1, which looks like it should be me, it's actually you. I need to because my brain can't do the interpolation that I need to.
Of course.
Flip the fingers. So
No, that's fine. That's completely normal.
Yeah. Anyway, some people yesterday, one guy on Twitter specifically, liked to talk about cars. So Paul, I'm going to stake a claim that we're going to get into car reviewing, and I'm calling dibs on all Italian vehicles. So there you go.
Okay, that's fine. I'll call dibs on all German vehicles. But I I saw that comment and I was like, what are you talking about? Like every tech site on earth is reviewing cars now. Like if you go to CNET, it's like
if you look at them, especially like Teslas. I think Tesla's kind of. I take that
for
back.
sure.
I would say that Android Auto and iOS CarPlay kind of got tech bloggers into it, and then Tesla's kind of really pushed it because Teslas are just basically computers with wheels, and then iOS and Android really bridge that, and so it's.
Yeah, I mean, imagine if you put the Insider program on wheels and let it drive 135 miles an hour. Like, what could go wrong? Yeah. Oh, and it would drive by itself, by the way, because they're using telemetry.
Yeah.
Literally, I guess.
Yes.
Yeah. Anyway, we're not car reviewers, but we were just making very general statements about cars. I think that Brad and I both are car enthusiasts, and I grew up reading Car and Driver and Road and Track, and I loved cars my whole life. I mean, so
did you know
I can apologize for knowing something about cars,
Motor Trend, which is actually the car show I grew up watching, which was on PBS, is also on YouTube, although it's not as good as I remember it, but.
Yeah. Sometimes I'll just sit and watch, like Consumer Reports does really good car review videos, Sometimes I'll just sit there and click through the ones I want to see.
Oh yeah. I don't think I'm obsessed, but I mean, in the nearish future, I'm going to be buying a new vehicle. My Pathfinder, while knock on wood, is in excellent condition and I really don't want to replace it. The car is also 10 years old. So there's no, I'm like a $1,500, $2,000 repair bill away from being like, here's the keys. Like, because that would be, I think
I'm not going to be buying a car anytime soon, but I just like cars.
Yeah, so do I. I don't want to buy a new car. Like I like the idea of owning a new car. I don't like the idea of paying for a new car.
Yeah.
Right.
Yep.
And my Pathfinder's loaded. It has everything. Like there's no feature box that wasn't ticked other than the V8 engine, which I'm very happy I didn't get because my car roughly gets 16 miles per gallon. The V8 would only have enhanced that.
But how does single-digit gas mileage feel?
The only thing that's missing on my car, which my wife's has, which I would like, is blind spot monitoring. It has a backup camera, but the blind spot monitoring is quite nice. But at this point, I'm like, good luck, everyone, and just merge.
I complain endlessly about my wife's car, and it's incessant beeping and warnings. And it does these things where, like, you're in the garage and you start the car. You put the car in reverse, and it's like beep, 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 beep. And what it's beeping is the proximity in the front of the car to whatever's in front. It does this all the time in spots, wherever you are. And it's like, I'm in reverse. I can't hit the thing you're worried about. Like, you shouldn't be warning me. The other thing it does, and this makes me insane, is there's a little click on the shifter. It's like an automatic, but you hold in the button and you move it and like forward to go in reverse and back going to drive, actually, which is kind of weird when you think about it. But anyway, so it will berate you on the screen when you don't do it correctly in its mind. But the thing is, so in other words, I want to go in reverse, right? What's the critical thing in a modern car that you need when you're in reverse? You need the backup camera to be on, right?
Yep.
But when I hold down the button, I push the thing forward to go into reverse. Instead of showing me the camera, it's like, hey, you're not pressing the button correctly. The car is in reverse, so I must have done it correctly. Show me the camera. It's just...
I like the idea of you sitting in a car screaming at it.
It makes me crazy. It's so consistently bad. Like, it's just... Those couple of things happen almost every time I'm in the car. So like yesterday, I drove to FedEx to do your little package, delivery thing. And when I left the house, it happened. When I left FedEx, it happened. Like, if I drove to work, like if I actually had to commute, I would be an insane person.
Are you sure it's the drive that would do it? You sure?
No, it's bad UI is what it is, right? It doesn't matter where it is. Like it just something like if I was confronted by that all the time, I would get another car.
Isn't it a Beamer? Isn't that what you?
Yeah.
Yeah. So the Germans, it's
probably
driving
early
dynamics, not for their software. So.
Well, this is an older one too. It's not like we have a new BMW. I mean, my wife bought it used. She bought it used now several years ago. So I don't remember the exact. It's probably a 2013 or something or whatever.
So you're early in the iDrive world.
Yeah.
The iDrive wasn't really known for.
Right. No, it's terrible.
Yeah. So there you go, guys. That's Car Talk today on First Ring Daily.
Yes. So thank you for complaining about cars. Now we're going to talk about cars every single day.
Yep. What else is going on in the world? I got a plumber coming today for. We're going to see if Brad's piggy bank can afford this one. I've been unpleasantly surprised every time you call a contractor. You set a budget and then it's never there. It's never there. Never there.
Right.
I will tell you, my new windows are nice though. Oh, kill me. Like,
I thought of this yesterday when you were talking about the plumber. I 7:30 in the morning on Saturday, my text, you know how an iPhone, it's like bing, like this really loud sound. I'm in the kitchen making coffee or whatever. And I'm thinking, my God, what could that be? It's like 7:30 in the morning. It's my brother-in-law. And he's like, hey, can I have the name of your plumber? We can't get cold water or hot water. We may need to borrow your shower, to take showers or whatever. Sure. And I'm like, yeah, whatever. And I'm like, here's the guy's name. Obviously, and we're home, whatever, anytime you want to come over. And then he kind of expands on the story. And what he is he's a lot like you in that he's kind of a do-it-yourselfer type. Like he works in the lighting industry and he does a lot of his own electrical stuff. And it's like you, it's like stuff I would never do myself. But this is where he crossed the line for me. He goes, I'm not going to call him until Monday. There's no way I'm paying weekend rates. And I was thinking to myself, for hot water, yeah, I would pay the rate. Just come and make the fix. But that's that mentality,
So the battery just died on this thing,
which explains why all the lights are different now. And
why it's a little whiter than usual.
So in a way, that's good because now you're going to have a nice battery life report that you can look at.
Yep. So that is, I think, the second full drain.
It is. Wow. Nice. Well, I'm doing the same thing right now on the Pro 7, letting it run, Yeah.
So that should give me a couple different data points, and that was the intent. I didn't think it was going to die that quick. It went from 6% to 0 mighty fast, but I think actually that might be my fault though. It might have been on max performance because of.
It might have been when you enabled Miracast.
Ooh, dun, dun, dun. It is known to suck battery life. Maybe
Known to suck.
You got anything else for today?
No, well, my Pixel is out on the truck for delivery,
Yep.
so I will have that today. I guess I'm preparing for this mentally,
Hmm.
as you know. So hopefully, I will have a write up today. We'll see.
Okay.
That's about it.
Well, fantastic. Well, on that friendly note, folks, we should hopefully be back tomorrow, and we'll be all pixelified or something.
Maybe I don't know.